Before we get into it, if you enjoyed these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button, and keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as, investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Alright folks, here we are on Friday, March 21st. We're going to take a look at SPY, QQQ, Tesla, Bitcoin, and try to wrap it all up into one sort of nice, neat narrative of talking about quad witching day and what happened. As it was expected, it was a wild day today. You see this huge dip into open, and then it stabilized a bit, and then a little pump and a little dump, and then finally ending in the pump, basically to get things back to flat, right? It ended up plus 19 cents today, 0.03% on SPY. QQQ fared a little bit better, 0.33%. And Tesla was the big winner today, coming up over 5%. Now, there was the pump from Elon as well, which certainly helped bolster that, along with whatever was going to happen on quad witching. But let's take a look. Now, the reason that I think that essentially what happened, at least with like SPY and SPX, and then with QQQ or the Nasdaq, was more or less a quad witching mirage, was first of all, this wild fluctuations and then basically getting them back to level, like standard level, is that's sort of one indication in of itself. The thing that's really interesting to me is to see what Bitcoin was doing today, right? So Bitcoin, just continuing to roll down, right? And the stock market ending on a flat day. The way that I've been tracking it, you can disagree with this, but my premise and what I've been tracking, I check this multiple times a day, and it holds up more often than it doesn't. I will postulate that Bitcoin and its crypto brethren are often a leading indicator of what's coming. And I didn't see anything following suit from the market and Bitcoin today. There was a bit of a divergence there that I just have not seen in the recent past. I'm talking about at least many months, if not longer, that this has been sort of in the corollary factors, or correlating factors. And so seeing this divergence today on quad witching, on a day where we saw, Tesla get pumped really hard and really outpace SPY and QQQ, and to see those end relatively flat, especially relative to the extreme volatility that was experienced both in the pre-market and then throughout the trading day, it left me with the sense that this was potentially a mirage that might sort of sucker punch a lot of people, and that if there is more of a pullback to come in the overall market, that it's just going to make it, that much harsher of a drop because of the fooling of this, what I would call like a mirage or a fake pump. Now, it could end up being wrong, right? This is just a theory, if you will. But the other thing that stands out to me, if we go to the daily chart here, bring in the EMAs, I'm going to hide the levels just so things don't look so cluttered. If you look at SPY, and we'll go through the others, it's just still rejecting. So it recently rejected off the 183, and now it is still just rejecting off of the 8, right? That is not typically a big bullish look. And not just that, typically this is a pretty bearish look. Rejecting off the 8, not even being able to get an attempt at the 21, like not even close, like not an inkling of a nudge toward that 21. I would, in any other situation, any other stock, I would say this has all of the earmarks of having more bearish momentum to exhaust before the ride is over, right? This swing is over. And we look at QQQ, you see the same thing, but a little bit worse. It's pushing off the 8, that's the same thing, but it hasn't even been able to reach up to the 183, much less the 21, which now the 21 has also bearishly crossed through the 183. SPX is going to, of course, look pretty similar. Oops, I'm on the 10-minute here. Yeah, right? That's going to look pretty close to SPY, of course. Tesla coming up, it did put a really solid body on the 8 today, but it has a ways to go, right? This, if I'm looking at all of the ones that we just looked at, this looks the most promising, granted. But think of the work and I don't necessarily want to call them tricks, but the fanfare, all of the effort that had to go in to getting a body on this 8 EMA. It was the Elon pump, that was after the Trump pump, that was after all of was it the Treasury Secretary or whomever on there, saying everyone go out and buy Tesla, and just all of this parroting, oh, go out and buy Tesla stock, you'll never see it this low again, coming directly from the government. That's a lot of effort. And granted, it got you a good day on a day that was otherwise pretty blah. But does this really persist? Right? It's fine to get you a good day, but I don't know. But absent of all of that fanfare and all of that wackiness in the press, if I were to look at this on any other day, I'd say, okay, this has a shot, right? It's trying to come through the 8. And so that's at least looking a lot better than this, right? This does not look like it's coming through the 8 at the moment. And Bitcoin here, I just am showing the 21 and the 183, but it's also trapped under the 183 at the moment. It is making stronger strides toward the 21, but it is still trapped under the 183. And like I said, is having a down day versus these flat days or slightly green days, which, again, I will propose are mostly skewed because of the quad witching. Now, the other factor here, which I didn't go and screenshot, but the Buffett indicator still would indicate that things are very overvalued and that a correction is still yet to come or yet to be followed through on, that the bottom is not in. So take the Buffett indicator for what you will. Just look that up if you're unfamiliar, and it's pretty easy to find. You can do your calculations and see what I mean. If we flip over here to the think or swim side of things, looking at SPX, we see wave cloud, right? It's just trapped under this bearish wave cloud. Now it's compressing it a little bit with all of these relatively, they're not necessarily flat days, but they are putting in motions right along the same level repeatedly. So that's flattening it out a bit, but it still is a very thick, sort of pervasive bearish wave cloud. So does it have the gusto from this standpoint, right? With all of the things going on in the global sense and on the domestic front, is this really a time where investors, institutions, whomever are going to pour money into the market, feeling that things are looking bullish and that they're confident in it being stable? And I don't know. Now, we will take a look at, just because it was the outlier and does have a bit of a different look, this is what Tesla looks like. So it is still, again, it's throwing a bit more of a body, candle body on that red wave cloud. It's compressing it a little bit more, sure. But it is still butting up against the wave cloud. So will it have, again, the gusto to get through, especially if it's already sort of, I don't know, made such a crazy overt effort, just this constant, running through government official after government official after personality of trying everything they can to pump the stock, and this is what you get. Will that persist? I don't know, but I say I don't know. My opinion is no. If that's not apparent, my opinion is no. This is not going to stick. I think best case scenario, well, I'll give you best case scenario. It makes a run at this 183. So it would push toward, try to push to 300. But I think it probably that's about the end of it, unless there's like a government contract or something, or even probably just floating of, additional government contracts coming into Tesla to boost sales and so on and so forth. Maybe that would get it through. but that's not on the table yet. I think next best case scenario, so slightly less best, it makes a run at this 21, and maybe it puts a candle body on it or something, but it can't hold it, and it pops back down, and we don't ever see this 8 cross over the 21. If I had to go one way or the other, I would guess maybe it does that move to the 21. Again, maybe the 300, but I do additionally think that would take some more fanfare, some more news items that feel like they turn more into like true large scale number buying orders, sales numbers, that sort of thing. And I don't put it past, that could possibly come about. That could very, very much come about. But we're not seeing it yet. But I do think before this were to take a much steeper decline and downturn, you will definitely see that. If we recover and I'm just wrong that things aren't overall just going to continue to correct, then hey, I'm wrong, and that's probably better for everyone, to be honest. And yeah, then maybe Tesla doesn't ever need that government contract, and it does recover. But we will see. Those are just my 2 cents. All right, folks. So I hope that you had a happy quad witching day, and that you enjoy your weekend. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.